two specific pieces of legislation that are important, I think, to all of us here who are not only for pro-life, certainly for me and others here today who are pro-life, but I think just in general as taxpayers. We want to make sure that as taxpayers, whether it's our state funds or federal funds that come through the state of Wisconsin, that they're used in a way that's responsible and reasonable. And going forward, this is yet another effort with these two pieces of legislation. Will soon be law that we do just that. Certainly over the last year, there's been a lot of controversy nationally about Planned Parenthood here in Wisconsin. Some 5 years ago in our first budget, the legislature worked with us and we removed funding for Planned Parenthood in the state budget from state dollars and instead put it into other areas where it can provide help for people, particularly for women in the state, but without going to controversial entities like Planned Parenthood. These two pieces of legislation make that the next step forward when it comes to both Title X federal dollars and when it comes to the reimbursement process, making sure that they reflect actual costs and actual Medicaid reimbursement levels in one area, and then the other piece of legislation making sure that going forward, our state, the Wisconsin Department of Health Services, will apply for Title X dollars going forward, with the hope and intent being that those dollars would then be distributed to state and county and local public health departments and clinics, which obviously ensure that they'll be accessible all across the state of Wisconsin. So for those who claim access, that to me is just a ridiculous argument, because we've got 72 counties and almost 1,800 municipalities across the state. And so at the county and the local level, there are public health departments and clinics all across the state. They in turn can partner with folks at the local level to ensure that these funds are available to provide for women's health. In addition, in particular, the Wisconsin Well Women program going forward, making sure again that we're providing for the health needs of women all across the state, but doing so in a way that ensures that those dollars are going through non-controversial public health entities as opposed to entities as they have in the past, which right now for Title X federal dollars, the sole provider or the sole recipient of those dollars is Planned Parenthood here in the state of Wisconsin. We believe the state and our partners at the county and local level should be the ones providing these services, and this will ensure that's done in a non-controversial way and in a way that's not aligned with entities that provide abortions. And so we're excited to be here today. We think this is important. Again, for those of us who are pro-life, it's important, but I think for taxpayers in general, I think people can respect whether they're pro-life or not, that taxpayers' dollars, be they at the state or at the federal level, should not be spent on things, particularly when there are non-controversial alternatives to ensure that public health needs of women in the state, particularly and families in the state, are well preserved. So pleased to be here today. Again, thanks to everybody who helped with this process, and with that, we'll get signing these bills away.
Thank you for signing. Do you have the number of letters memorized?
Yeah. The other day I had, what'll be in the next couple of weeks, it'll be tough because you get so many of these bills. I think our record last session was like 60 in one day. See, the nice thing is I got a couple different ones I can divvy it up with. Divides these pretty well.